ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Bow, 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 bow. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third monthly update. It is April. It is April 2022, but it's about to be March. Didn't forget what months are in here. Shut up. About to be March, and so I'm doing the April monthly update. It's logical, isn't it? It's a logical thing to do. I'm still kind of annoyed that I didn't do one on January, and so that it's uneven. This should really be the 4th, because April is the 4th month, but I didn't do one for January. I just did weekly updates for January. It's annoying, because it's all going to be uneven now. But nevertheless, Shusha. So hello and welcome to the monthly update, and we will of course start with the things that have happened this month. And so the first thing that has happened this month is I did the Mark and Mike. I did another Mark and Mike. It's been over a year since I did Mark and Mike. It's been over a year. Yeah, over a year since I did a Mark and Mike. Because I'm lazy. And I only really, it's not very good, part 2 of the vampire. I only really did it to fill the plot hole that would be there if I just left it, because of course it's part 1 of a 2-parter. Or the vampire, the one before the last one. And if I'd just carried on from there, then it wouldn't have made sense, because it'd be like, well, what happens to part 2 of the vampire? And so I just did it really just to fill that. There's only really one good joke in it, where Mark tries to hand his coat across the split screen to Christine. That's the only good joke in it. It's really the only joke in the episode, but it's the only good part of the episode. So yeah, it's genuinely filler. It's not just like filler in the way you normally say filler. It's literally filler, as in the only reason it exists is to fill a space. Hello. And then, next thing that happened was my 18th birthday. I'm now an adult, legally. Not that I'm going to be doing anything differently, because why would I do anything differently? That would be stupid, because I do everything perfectly anyway. I think I'm fine. So that's that. Obviously that's it. So let me clean my glasses, because they're all sort of foggy and dirty. Smudgy, so I'm just going to clean them. Mr. Snazzy Hat, greetings. Greetings, Mr. Digby. Welcome to the monthly update. As I said just a minute ago, I don't know if you were here for it, but did Mark and Mike. That wasn't very good. I wouldn't bother watching it. It was my birthday, which again I did a video showing off all the stuff I got. So if you want to watch that, you can if you want. And then, at least for me, the most important thing I've done this week, and the best thing I've done, is the short film, a little experimental bit of something called Tok, T-O-K-K. I was going to call it TikTok because it's about clocks, but I was worried that that would tie it to that hideous creation that shares that name. And so I just shortened it to Tok, and to avoid confusion even more, I added 2 Ks to try and distance it from that thing. But yeah, it's a pretty good short film. I'm quite happy with it. I'm very happy with it, in fact. And I've also been, obviously this isn't out yet, but I've been working on the next Moid album. I've got 5 songs done so far, which goes up to about 19 minutes. I'll give you a little taste of one of the songs, probably my favourite song. Not the entire song, but just a little bit of it. It's called My Ear-Moth is Singing, and this is what it sounds like. So that's that. It was also your birthday this month. What day was it? And how old are you? And happy birthday. Probably should have said that one first, but I didn't. So that's that. I also got this hat for my birthday, seeing as you mentioned the hat. One of my granddad's old ones, which he gave me. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Nothing bad ever happens to me. 19th and 19. Oh wow, so you turn 19 on the 19th. That is pretty cool. That's pretty snazzy. That is pretty in it. I turned 8. Well, I suppose I did turn 18th. I didn't turn 18th. I turned 18 on the 8th. Not as significant as when I turned 8 on the 8th, which was 10 years ago. And I wasn't doing YouTube 10 years ago, because that would have been even more horrific and cringy than it is, you know, when I only started YouTube 6 years ago. And that's pretty cringy. So I imagine if I started it 10 years ago, it'd be how would it be cringy? Yes, it would be cringy. Oh my god. So that's that. So moving on from what I've done this month, what I'm planning on doing in March of 2022. In March of 2022. What am I planning on? What am I planning? What am I? It keeps clipping, and it keeps This microphone's awful. It keeps clipping, and I want it to stop clipping. So I'm just gonna, every time I say a noise, which will wait. Every time I make a noise which might make it clip. In March, you mean May? No, March is the 4th month of the 5th. No, March is the 3rd. It's May. What's wrong with... I'm dying. Help. Oh, God. May. I've already done... January, February, March, April, May. Yes, it's May. Guess I'm going to have to start this entire thing again then. Hello and welcome to the 3rd monthly update, April 2022. Next, of course, is May and not March, because March was the last one. The previous month was March, and the next month is May. Anyway, so yeah, what will I be doing in May? Doing more of the album. I may even finish the album. I don't know. January, February, March, April, May. Right. What will I be doing in the 5th month of this year, which is May? Doing more of the album. I may even finish the album. I don't know. Although, of course, you will find out. I've also been setting up over the last month. I keep going back and forth. These are never going to be well made. These are never going to be neat and tidy. So I don't even know why I bother trying to set it up in like a step-by-step thing, because it's never going to be. I always go back and forth. Another thing that I've done over the previous month, although it only took me a couple of days to do it, is I've set up a Bandcamp for Moid. It's not public yet. Well, I mean, the account is public, but none of the albums on it are public, so I don't think you'll be able to... I don't think you can find it. I don't know that much about Bandcamp, to be honest, so I don't know if you follow an account even when they haven't uploaded anything, or does the account only become public when it's actually uploaded something? I don't know. But I haven't uploaded anything publicly to it. Sorry, I'm gonna get a sock to put over this microphone, because this clipping is really annoying me. I can't even bear to think what it sounds like. Hello? Actually, let's do a test. I want to do a test. Purple, purple, pimple, purple, pimple. Purple, 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 pimple. Let's go back a bit. My God, this is so much better. I should have been doing this from the beginning. Why did I never think of putting a sock over the microphone? It's the thing that everyone does. But I just never even thought of it. I'm definitely going to be doing this from now on. Jesus, look. it still clips a bit. Anyway, so let's talk about some more purple pimples. Things now it looks ridiculous because now I'm just holding sock over my face. Welcome to the Purple Pimple Show, where purple pimples clip to their heart's desires. Clippity clippity clop, pimple, 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 popple. Pop the pimple on my purple pimp. I don't think he'd appreciate that, actually. No, don't worry, they're not going to do it. I've told them not to. My purple pimp over there. I borrowed his hat. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. Hello, welcome to the third monthly update, April 2022. So what's next? I've done those two. I've done what I have done and what I'm going to do. Let's talk about the films and stuff. So I've only watched one film, but I have watched something related to the film a lot more because I've finished basically ages ago, like well into last year, as in well into backwards, like quite early last year, I watched the entirety of the classic Twin Peaks series, the 1990 to 1991 series 1 and 2 of Twin Peaks. And I wanted to immediately continue with Fire Walk With Me, the film from 1992, and then The Return from 2017. But I could not find a copy of the film anywhere. But I only just found one that literally just earlier this month on YouTube of all places. Maybe it was already there and I just didn't think to look. I don't know, but I doubt it was. I think I probably would have looked. So I finally watched it, and now I've finally gotten onto Twin Peaks: The Return. And last night I watched part 7, and I'm probably going to be watching part 8 tonight, unless a change of routine causes me to not be able to do that. And really, I suppose I'll just go through. Now, I can't remember much about any of them, to be fair, but I know that it starts to pick up. Well, not that the first 2 parts are bad, but part 3 is where it starts to get interesting, I remember. Because I'm pretty sure it's in part 3. It's either part 3 or part 4, where Cooper actually... There's spoilers, by the way. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Twin Peaks. I know, I will take my hat off and wave it about once I've stopped talking about Twin Peaks. So if any of you actually want to watch Twin Peaks and don't want to be spoiled, mute me now, and then when I wave my hat like that, I will... not like that. When I wave my hat like this, you can unmute me. So mute me now. Okay, so anyone who's still here has already seen it or doesn't care. Right, so part 1 and 2 are okay. Part 3 is where the weirdness starts. Part 4 is, I think, the one where Cooper actually gets, he leaves the Black Lodge and he actually enters the real world, and he's got a bit of he's a bit simplified, I suppose, is the nicest way to put it. He's not all there, let's just say. And he's just... I don't know how to... It's Twin Peaks, how can I explain? Basically, it's entertaining. That's all I have to say about it. And if I suggest that anyone who hasn't muted me... well, I suppose, actually. Welcome back. Anyone... Basically, if you haven't seen it, watch it from the very beginning of the show, because it's very good. From like the pilot. Good albums you listen to. Yeah, don't you worry, I will be talking about all of those albums literally now, because now I go on to the albums. So I've listened to, how many albums have I listened to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've listened to 8 albums this month. And I will talk about them all now. So the first album I listened to was Fleetwood Mac by Fleetwood Mac from 1975, which, although they'd been around for a lot long before that, it seems most people, and including me, even though I haven't heard any of the earlier ones, and they're still probably good, but for me, before I actually looked into Fleetwood Mac, I always assumed that Fleetwood Mac was just Stevie Nicks and then other people. But they existed for like 8 years before Stevie Nicks joined, and Fleetwood Mac is the first album with her in it. And that is very good. Obviously, I'm not good at reviewing stuff. I don't really know how to explain it to you. Basically, they're good songs. Go and listen to them. Right. Next album, Rumours, 1977. Probably the most famous Fleetwood Mac album, especially the album cover, which is one of the best album covers of all time. But the album cover for Fleetwood Mac is really good as well, actually. So yeah, that's that. And then Tusk, which apparently it's quite controversial. A lot of people don't like it because it's a lot more experimental. And after following up after Rumours, which was very commercially successful, not necessarily super commercial. I mean, there's definitely some interesting stuff in there. It's not just typical late 70s disco crap. Not that I have anything against the Bee Gees. I like the Bee Gees, but they weren't at the height of artistic genius. Whereas this is, which is probably why it was so successful. But I suppose people were just expecting a Rumours 2 after, but then they went down this. Firstly, it's a double album, Tusk, and double albums never go down well. No one wants to listen to that. I did. I loved it. I think Tusk is probably actually my favourite out of these 3 albums. These are the only 3 Fleetwood Mac albums I've actually listened to, these 3 here. And out of them, I think Tusk is probably my favourite. Particularly the song Not That Funny. And the album version, when I first listened to it, I really liked it. But since then, I've listened to a live version from 1982, which is like 10 minutes long, because Mick Fleetwood, the drummer, has like a 6-minute drum solo in the middle. I'm not usually, I don't really care for the drums that much. I mean, obviously they're important and they're one of the best rhythm instruments because they are part of the rhythm section. But usually I don't like it when they take the lead. But he does it so well. It's not these really attention-seeking seeming drum solos. It's like it's very I don't know. There's just sort of like a lot of emotion in it, and it's quite slow, which I like. So I would advise to, and also Lindsey Buckingham's vocals in the live version that I'm talking about, the 1982 10-minute long version. He's a lot angrier, and the song works when he's angry. The album version, he's just sort of talking, and it's not as good. Which is kind of a shame, because when I first listened to the album, that was my favourite song, but it's probably not anymore, now that I've listened to the live version, which is so superior. The album version is still good, though, obviously, it's Fleetwood Mac, duh. But then I stopped at Tusk, simply because I read that the next album, which is Mirage from 1981, I think, I just read on Wikipedia that they went back to a more commercial sound. That, combined with the fact that we are now leaving the 70s and entering the 80s, made me just not want to listen to it that much. So I guess, I mean, I'll listen to it at some point. I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive for, but I expect by the end of my life I'll probably have listened to every album ever, previous to the the 21st century. But yeah, so those 3 albums are all very good. If I were to rank those 3, Tusk would be number 1, Rumours a very, very close second, and Fleetwood Mac a very, very close third. They are both, all 3 of them, are incredible albums, and obviously you seem to have already listened to Rumours, but if you haven't listened to the other 2, Digby, I would heavily recommend that you listen to Fleetwood Mac and Tusk as well, because they're both very good. But then again, Tusk, as I said, because it is a double album, it's over an hour, and it's a bit more of a commitment, so you might want to actually allot yourself a time to listen to it. It's not the kind of thing you can just sort of listen to in the background. You kind of have to focus on it. Anyway, so that's the Fleetwood Mac section of my musical journey of this month. Next, I listened to 2 albums by the Mothers of Invention, which was Frank Zappa's band, because I never really got into Frank Zappa, which is quite a shame, because I know that he's one of the most important musical figures of all time, and I already respected him a lot, but I'd never actually listened to any of his music, and so I've listened to a couple of them. And it was, maybe I was just, because I'd heard so much about him, I was expecting to be, obviously these are his first 2 albums ever, so obviously he's not going to be as good as he gets later on, and I will carry on my journey, but I suppose I was a bit disappointed with them. They're not bad albums, they are not bad albums, they are still better than anything I could ever do, but from a supposed musical genius, they're not the best albums in the world. But they're good. I mean, they're fun. And I suppose I wasn't expecting fun. I was expecting artistic genius. Freak Out, especially. Absolutely Free is a bit of a... I don't know, it seems a bit sort of meh. Freak Out is definitely the superior of these 2 albums. And there's like this 12-minute song near the end of it, which is genuinely one of the best songs ever. Because it's just... It's like, it's part song, part comedy sketch. Let me just... click on this and find it. The Return of the Son of Monster Magnet, 12 minutes and 20 seconds, the final song on the album. It is mental. So if you don't want to listen to any of them, I just listen to that song on its own, the final song, Freak Out, Return of the Son of Monster Magnet, because it's funny. So that's my mother's invention thing. Go Your Own Way and The Chain are some of my favourite songs from the 70s. Every single song on Rumours is an incredible song. I'm pretty sure every single song in Rumours is actually in my Music That I Like playlist, which is going on 1,000 songs now. It doesn't actually have 1,000. If I actually look at it, I'll tell you exactly how many songs are in it at this moment. That will probably change. At the moment, it's got 818 songs in it, the Music That I Like playlist. Growing every moment. Every time I listen to a new album, actually, I gain a few songs. That's why these days I used to just listen to if I could find a single video on YouTube which was the full album, I'd usually listen to that. But recently I've been just listening to the official uploads by whatever, obviously if there is an official upload, which there usually is. There has been for all of these anyway. Because obviously it's higher sound quality because it's an official release, and it's all the individual songs, which means I don't have to write down the songs that I like while I'm listening to the album. I can just add them as I listen to the album. But anyway, so that's that, Mother's Invention. I will carry on with the Mother's Invention and Frank Zappa at some point in the future. But then we've moved on to Queen, which was a band I already loved, but I just suddenly realised that I hadn't listened to a single Queen album. I'd listened to the Greatest Hits album, obviously, because I'm pretty sure that it's one of the best-selling albums in the UK of all time, possibly even but I don't know, so I'm not going to say that. But I'm pretty sure it's I know it's one of the best-selling albums in the UK of all time, their Greatest Hits. But I hadn't actually listened to any of their albums in full, so I thought, well, what better place to start than the beginning, with their very first album, self-titled Queen, from 1973, which was really good, especially for a debut album. It's really good. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be like, I knew it was going to be good because it's Queen, but for a debut, it's amazing, right? None of the songs on it I knew, which, again, usually that would signal that I wasn't going to like the album as much, but it was really good. I don't know what else to say about it. I added it immediately after listening to it. I downloaded it, did my really long and cumbersome process to make it into one MP3 file and just popped it on my phone. I'm getting quite a big collection just on my phone. It's going to physically enlarge soon, the amount of albums I'm putting on it. But yeah, that was that. Then I listened to Queen 2 from 1974. Real creative title there for your second album. Well done, guys. It is, actually. I like it. And the album cover is a very iconic photograph of them, which is the one part about it that I really like. There's a few songs on it that I like, but overall I felt it was just a bit lacking, especially after the first album, which was so good. And I haven't added Queen 2. I'm sure on subsequent... Because again, all I'm saying here, these are all my first listen to all of these albums. I don't write down albums that I've already listened to anymore. I used to, but I realised it's pointless now. But I haven't added that. As I said, I'm sure in subsequent re-listens I will like it more. I mean, my favourite Talking Heads album now is Speaking in Tongues, but it wasn't when I first listened to it. But then on several, re-listens, it became my favourite. Anyway, so next, and my most recent album that I've listened to, this was I think just a couple of days ago I listened to it, was Sheer Heart Attack, which is Queen's third studio album from 1974. This one was better. This one is the best that I've listened to so far. And also, it's the first one which has had songs on it that I already knew. It's got two, Killer Queen and Flick of the Wrist. Both great songs, and a great album. And many other great songs on it, along with those two. And that's my album journeys. It's one of the best, and there is nothing in the 21st century. Well, that's a very good. I'm very happy about that. I've got a few songs in my playlist from the 21st century, but they are occasional. Some are just one-off songs from bands that I don't really like, but they've released like one song that I like. I can't remember what it's called, but that song Shine. I can't remember what the band is called, but that. Da, 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 da. I can't remember what the band is called, but I like that song. So that's on there, and I've got a couple of Jack Stauber songs on there as well. He's one of the few musicians. He's not the only one, so shut up. But he's one of the few 21st century musicians who is actually like unique and creative with what they do. I can hear a lot of the Talking Heads, or just Talking Heads, not the Talking Heads. Take that. That's it. Thank you. As I said, I don't like them, but that song is good. I'm not gonna discredit one song just because it's by a crap band. It's a good song, right? I can hear a lot of Talking Heads in Jack Stauber's music, so I'm gonna assume, unless it's a coincidence, but I doubt it because he makes good music, and good music tends to be inspired by previous good music. And another modern musician who I like, who is on much more experimental end. Jack Stauber is quite experimental. I mean, you're never going to hear him on the radio. But The Caretaker, that Leland Kirby guy, I've talked about him before, but I really like what he does as well, because, again, it's creative. Now everyone's doing it. Everyone's copying him now, but he was really the first to do this. Take old stuff and reuse it in a creative way as well, not just... Because now, aren't there just entire genres now of taking, like, songs from, like, the 80s and just slowing them down or speeding them up? And that's it. Like, you're not actually altering them, you're just speeding them up and slowing them down. Like, that's not creativity, that is theft. But what he does, he takes really old stuff, which is, like, from the 30s and 40s, so it's not stealing because it's in the public domain. And he takes it, and then he slows it down, but he adds a load of effects, and he cuts bits, and he loops it. And he tries to create like an overall, like, an ambience and a mood. Actually, now that I've just said the word ambience, that is something, because I'm on Bandcamp now, as I've already said. And, right, because I've labelled Moid, which is my one-man band, as experimental music, because that is what it is. I experiment in the creation of it. But then when I click on the tag experimental and I see some of the other experimental artists, it's all ambient stuff. It's either, nowadays, it seems experimental music, all it means now is either ambient music or just noise, which isn't even music. And that really annoys me, because that's not experimentation. If you're ambient, I mean, how long has ambience been around? I mean, Brian Eno is obviously, he coined the term ambient music. He didn't invent it. Actually, this will annoy people. Listen to this. Do you know who one of the very first people to experiment with ambient music was? It was Yoko Ono. How's that, world? Yeah, you don't like that, do you? But yeah, she did. Her and John Lennon's first album together, Unfinished Music's Volume 1, Two Virgins, which is the one where they're naked on the cover. that's kind of an ambient album. It doesn't use synthesizers and stuff like that, but they'll just sort of put a microphone there, and then just it's very quiet sort of stuff going on there. So that's kind of it's not fully ambient, but it's kind of, I suppose it's like a proto ambient music. And so really, all these people who are into ambient music, and a lot of whom will be the same people who on the internet is whenever they hear or see Yoko Ono, they just have a go at her. Well, yeah, well, one of your favourite genres, she's one of the first people to do it, so how's that? People really have a go at Yoko Ono for no reason. Like, she literally didn't do anything. She hasn't done anything wrong, but people just don't like her, which annoys me. Anyway, experimental is technically ambient and indie merged together. Again, indie, that's not a genre. That's what you are. You're either independent or not. You're either signed to a studio or you're independent. I'm independent, but I'm not. I don't fit into the indie genre, and evidently I don't fit into the experimental genre. Experimental isn't a genre. This is something that really annoys me. It's not a genre. It's an sort of act. Like, I mean, Pink Floyd is experimental music, but you'll never heard it put into the experimental genre. The Beatles, like Abbey Road to like Rubber Soul to Abbey Road, that's experimental music, but you never heard it described as that. Basically, experimental isn't a genre. Whoever's watching it, well, I mean, it doesn't like you watching this, but in case this ever gets seen by anyone who makes ambient stuff, stop describing yourself as an experimental musician, because you are not. You're an ambient musician, very respectable, that's fine, but you are not experimental, because you are doing something that has literally been done since the 1960s. You are not original, you are not experimenting. Shh. Anyway, rant over with. Where did it come from? Where did the rant come from? I can't remember. Anyway, that's music. That's my music done with. So yeah, now we do the news. Oh, this is one of my favourite bits. Basically, I look at the news and I make fun of the news. You might want to stay for this, Digby. You might want to. Talk about the Beatles, I got some spectacles that look like Mr. Lennon's. John Lennon has literally worn these exact glasses, except his have the orange. Like, if you look at in the Imagine music video, he's wearing these exact glasses, but with orange lenses rather than clear lenses. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm literally looking at it right now. Studio mode, display, video capture device. Put him up there. And flip it. Transform. Flip horizontal. There we are. Hello and welcome to BBC News website. Let's see. So this guy watching Bleep in the House of Commons. I haven't looked into it. I really don't care. Oh god, the news has 3 things in it, that being Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, Ukraine versus Russia, and Elon Musk buying Twitter. I'll just talk about all those three of those things now. Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp court thing, I have not been keeping up with it whatsoever. I've seen occasional clips. Obviously, I'm with Johnny. I'm not an idiot. But I haven't been watching really any of it. As I said, I watched occasional clips. Obviously I've already talked about Ukraine and Russia, and Elon Musk buying Twitter. I honestly don't care. I mean, I do use Twitter, but not really. I barely ever I only ever post on it when I've like done a film or something, and I just post it on there, and no one really follows me. It doesn't really matter, and I'll probably delete it as well. I'm only on there just to really, if I ever feel a bit stupid about something, I know that I can always just go straight to Twitter and cure myself of feeling stupid, because I know I'm not compared to them. I've had the occasional incredibly entertaining argument there as well. Right. A Minecraft world can now be seen as NFT. I don't know what that means. Talk about Minecraft. I might be playing some more Minecraft at some point. I think I'm gonna start a new world just because I'm. Well, the thing is, I don't know. That's the thing. I think I'm just gonna move to, like, find a woodland mansion, move there, probably just start a new world, find a woodland mansion, spawn in all the people I had in the last world, because I can't be bothered finding them all again. Just spawn them all in. I don't care if it's cheating. And then actually try and play the game, like get to the end and stuff like that, which I've never actually tried to do. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Sorry. Shoop 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 dee dee doo, flu flu flu, fla fla fla, sheebity boo, sheebity sha, shreba dooba. Nothing going on in the news. Let's go on to the BBC YouTube channel. What have we got? 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 Beep beep bop dee 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 da dum. Flooba doo dee da 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 da. Do 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 do. Oh, this woman. I don't know anything about. The only thing I know about this woman is that she was in the Time Warrior episode of Doctor Who in 1973 to 4. Started in 1973 and in 1974, but she was in it. That's all I know. At least 6 dead in shooting in Sacramento, California. Well, I mean, that's because it's America. Get rid of guns, and that will not happen anymore. Simple, but you don't want to listen to America, so there you are. Doodle-doodle-doodle. One mother's mission to ban vulgar books. Yay, more censorship. That's good. Yeah. Basically, censorship is bad in every single context without exception. Goodbye. Do 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 beep bop. Dinosaur fossil from asteroid strike that caused extinction, found, scientists claim. This seems cool. Who is this woman? I don't care. Okay, show me the bloody fossil. Cool. Likey doodle. Yay. Boopity bapa hey ha hoo shoo she sha she sha shoo shoo she sha she sha shoo sha she sha she sha shoo. Pink Floyd reunite for Ukraine protest song. Half of them are dead. Well, not half of them, but multiple of them. Well, I mean, it's Pink Floyd. Good news. Da 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 do da do da do da do. Ed Sheeran. Oh, we'll go with Ed Sheeran. No like you. I mean, this is about his copyright thing. This was like years ago. Why is he talking about it now? Unless he's done a new one. I mean, I am on his side in the copyright things. I think copyright is just a stupid idea and should be done away with. And I have stolen things for my music. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You can figure them out by yourself. Except the obvious, like when I covered the Talking Head song, without vocals, obviously. Looks like I was going to sing. You know who I am. But I mean, for instance, there's a song on the Church of Utter Madness called Planetside Dreams, and the sort of bass line, I guess, from that song I took from the television song Venus. And I will continue to do things like that. And I will not be punished for it because art is free, always will be free, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. So yeah. Far right. Why are people talking about far right? There is no right. There is no left. The political spectrum is a myth. It's not real. God. These people, like the people who use these things unironically, have clearly never heard of the phrase divide and conquer. My God. Anyway. That can't be. Can't be. Yeah, this is who's surprised? Who's surprised about this? Right, well, yeah, are people surprised about this? Da 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 do 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 do. Did they drop the camera or something in this? What's this all about? They just moved it. I don't give a crap about anything he says, although it is true. Professor Common Sense there, Mr. Biden. Footage appears to show US police fatally shoot black man. I don't care. I don't care. According, I mean, assuming I can't bother watching it, but according to the comments, this guy actually did something wrong and was resisting arrest. Okay. Islamic State Beetle jihadist convicted by US jury. What? Paul, what have you done? Paul, don't be a Muslim. Oh God, they've converted Paul McCartney. Oh God, the world is gonna end. The world is gonna end. The world. No. North Korea celebrates 10 years of Kim Jong-un's rule. Yes, celebrates, yes. My favourite celebration too is to shoot myself in the head. Yes. My God. Do daddy daddy daddy. Wow 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Official suspect named in Madeleine McCann disappearance. Oh God. This little girl kidnapped her. Oh my God. What kind of world it is when little children like that can do things like that. Just put her down. It's for her own good. Beep bop bop beep bop little bop oh wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. Wah. Bum 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 bum. Bam bum 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 bum. Alec Baldwin Rust shooting aftermath footage revealed. Right. Let me tell you about this. Why are Firstly, it shouldn't have been a real gun. Secondly, it shouldn't have been loaded with real ammunition. And third, yes, he should have checked, but it shouldn't have been given to an actor who clearly doesn't know anything about gun safety. Doesn't think it's real, because why would there be a real gun on the set of a film? It's a film. So it isn't his fault, and the people who think it is his fault are mentally retarded. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. People are so stupid. Like, Jesus. My eye is itching, sorry about that. Do bab and bab and bab. Oh my God, are they still talking about George Floyd? It's been over it's been nearly 2 years. if you're going to pick someone as your poster child for police violence, don't pick someone who was actually committing a crime. Maybe pick someone who was innocent. Like, is it that difficult? There can even be a black person. There have been black innocent people killed by police. I know I always mention Daniel Shaver because he's the only one I can ever actually think of. Simply because of that footage, which I didn't want to see, but someone just put it in their video with no warning, right? So I've seen it, and so that's permanently burnt into my retina, right? Seeing him explode, right? I didn't know bullets could do that, by the way. Didn't know they could do that, but they can. Right. Obviously, he's an obvious example because he was completely innocent, but of course, he's white. Was white. He's red now and buried. Hopefully, Jesus. I mean, they might have just put him in like a barrel or something. I don't know. It's the police. You never know what they're gonna do. But I presume that he's been buried, or cremated, or like a normal ceremony. Never heard anything about that. It happened. There was a little thing about it in the news, and then it was never mentioned again. This criminal who died almost 2 years ago, if not more than 2 years ago, I can't quite remember. I think it might have been February, wasn't it? 2020? I know it's 2020. Anyway, nearly 2 years ago. And they're still going on about him. As if he was like this angel who had never done anything wrong in his entire life. Did he deserve to die? No, obviously not. But it doesn't make sense to pick someone who was actually doing something wrong as your example. It doesn't make sense. That's how you know these people are not in it because of their own beliefs. They're in it because it's the popular thing to be at the moment. This whole Black Lives Matter thing, which it is a trend, and I really hope it dies out soon because it's been going on for far too long, right? That's how you know that they're only doing it because they want to be popular and relevant. If they were doing it because of their actual own intelligent beliefs, then they'd pick someone who isn't the worst example they could pick. But because they're idiots, they pick him. Next. And no, before anyone says it, I'm not implying that black lives don't matter. Of course they do. All lives matter. I know that's apparently racist to say that now, even though it isn't, because that doesn't make sense. But all lives matter. Every single life, not even just human life, even though I do eat meat, so maybe I'm a hypocrite, but every life, every single life, without exception, matters. Some of them matter more than like bacteria and things. Like there's probably a bacteria on the bottom of my shoe that I murder every single time I walk around, right? But let's just talk about humans because it much simplifies the argument. All human lives, all are equal, and all human beings are equal. Like, just it. Yeah. If he had have killed them, it wouldn't have been any more right or wrong than when they killed him. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Shut up. Bi ba 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 bo 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 li ba bi she lu da shu shu. That's BBC. Next we have the CNN website. Right. Right, that's that Oh, none of this is relevant. Now we have the CNN YouTube channel. Da, da, da. Beep, beep, beep. Meh, meh, meh. Blah, 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 blah. Flu, flu, flee. Flon, flee, shosho, flee, plan, plan. Legendary filmmaker responds to Bruce Willis diagnosis. Why not just say Rob Reiner? Legendary filmmaker. I mean, yeah, but why like that? I don't really. That doesn't. That's subjective. Just put filmmaker Rob Reiner. Sorry. For those of you who don't know who he is, he directed Misery. I think that was him, which is a good film. If it wasn't him, then that's incredibly embarrassing. Yawn, yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. Yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. Yawn, 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 yawn. This is so boring. Nothing is happening in the news. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Blah 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 blah. My God, this is bad. Why is Trump in the news? He's not president anymore. Oh my God. God, this is so boring. This is so boring. This is boring. Nothing's happening. Oh, isn't he a pretty man? His face in that one. And look, it's interesting they upload those two side by side. They look quite. Putin defends war in Ukraine as noble. Oh yeah, murdering and raping innocent people is it's noble. Yeah, well done, you moron. Why police identified this man as a person of interest? Oh, let me guess. Is it because he's black? whatever. I mean, it's ironic that the people who complain about racism are the people who are, they're the reason racism is still around. If people stopped making everything about race, racism would go away. But obviously, that's not what they want. They want racism, even if they don't know that they want racism. They still do. Yawn. La la la. Let's see, is this guy... Let's see where they mentioned the race. Oh, do they actually show it? Disturbing images. I mean, they're not actually going to show it, it's YouTube. You can't show stuff like that on YouTube. You can't show things. See, it goes quiet there. Do they keep the audio? I'll find out.
Gunshot. A black man dead on the street.
A black man dead on the street. A black man dead on the street. Why is his race relevant? Let me answer that question. It's not. Again, I'm not saying that he deserved to die, even for resisting arrest. I'm gonna be resisting arrest several times in my lifetime. Never in America, because they will kill me. And you'll notice there's something about me. Why would they want to kill me? I'm white. Why would they want to kill a white person? Maybe it's because they're bastards. Anyway, because they're not racist. Anyway, I'm not saying that him dying is a good thing. I'm not saying he deserved it. He didn't, even resisting arrest. As I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of that in my lifetime. I imagine. Doesn't deserve death, but he wasn't killed because he was black. If I was this guy, they'd have killed me as well. But then, you know what would have happened? You know what differently would have happened then? Nothing in the actual event itself would have happened differently. But CNN would have never reported on it. If the police killed me, CNN would never touch it. I doubt even the BBC here in my own country would even touch on it. They wouldn't. No one would care. Well, people would care. I would care. I'm sure my friends and family would care. Friends. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, let's see what else is going on in the world. They're still talking about Trump. He's not the president anymore. Can you... Oh my god, this is boring. Why can't they stop this one idiot? That is an incredible question. I'm liking it just for the... Even if the reporting on this is stupid, I'm liking it just for what that woman just said. Best quote. Yep. Just shoot him, for God's sake. Why Joe Biden's poll numbers aren't getting any better? Because he's an idiot, and people are starting finally to learn that he's an idiot. I mean, the only reason he got in, I've said this before, but it is true, and it's worth saying again. The only reason he got in is because Trump was the president before him. If Biden had been the president from 2016 to 2020, and he came up against Trump, Trump would have won. They're both idiots. It's just one, Joe Biden is an idiot because he's mentally ill, and Trump is an idiot because he's mentally challenged. And they are different things. Oh my god. Oh, Richard Branson. Yeah, people really want to hear your opinion on the war. My god, this is boring. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? No one cares about Trump. He's not the president. Oh, well, you look at that. It's Trump again. Wow. Oh, look, it's Trump. Oh, look, Trump. Talking about Trump. Oh, wow. I'm so surprised. Oh, wow. Oh, my god. Look at that. What does she have to do with anything? Oh, would you look at that? It's Trump. Oh wow! I'm so surprised that that CNN is talking about Trump. Oh my god, that's so weird, isn't it? That's so strange. I didn't expect it. Oh my god, so weird. Oh look, they've stopped 16 hours ago. Maybe they've probably uploaded since then as well. No, they haven't. Thank Christ for that. Anyway, that's the news. How incredibly entertaining that was. I hope you guys. Have I got anything else to do? Answering your questions. Well, there are been no questions. Well, there's been a couple of questions, but I had already answered them. Some of his. At the beginning. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in whatever it is I decide to do next. Goodbye. I'm definitely going to be putting the sock on the microphone again in the future. Goodbye.